Okay, Year 10, Holiday Loading and Budgets, page 2. Question 3. Find the yearly simple interest on $20,000 at 18%. In other words, find 18% of $20,000. Okay, so A, 18% of $20,000. So that's just 18 divided by 100 times, it becomes times $20,000. So that's going to be, if you put that in the calculator, it'll be 0.18 times by $20,000. So let's have a look. 0.18 times by 20000 equals $3,600. Okay, so that's A. B is $5,000 at 16%, which just means 16% of $5,000, which just means 16 divided by 100, off becomes times $5,000. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that for you to work out, just following the same approach that I used just this part here in question A. Alright, we'll just erase this and we'll go on to question 4. Find the simple interest on these amounts that are invested for more than a year. So the first one, we've got A, $20,000 at 18.2% for 5 years. Now, to complete a question like this, we need to use a formula. I, which is interest, equals P RN. So I will equal interest, P equals principal. That's the amount of money that you started with. Let's say, 20,000. Put another 0 there. So in this case, 20,000 is what you started with. R equals the interest rate. So the R stands for rate, interest rate, and N equals number of years. So we're going to use this formula to find the answer. Now, let's just use this red pen here. P is 20,000. I is what we're trying to find. So I equals P, which we say is $20,000. Now, this just means times. There's nothing there, but we know that there's a times in between the P and the R. So times, and then R is 18.2%, or 18.2 divided by 100, times by N. So, so this is the R, 18.2 divided by 100, and then N is going to be 5, because it's for 5 years. So I equals, let's work this out with the calculator. Excuse me. 20,000 times by, actually, let's find this out first. 18.2 divided by 100 equals 0.182. So that's the interest rate. So remember, when we multiply, it doesn't matter what order we multiply in. So I'm going to go 0.182 times by 20,000 times by 5 equals, alright, so the interest rate, or the interest amount is going to be $18,200. Okay, so yeah, and that's the answer there. It seems quite a lot of money. You've almost doubled your money in 5 years, but 18.2% is a high rate of interest. Okay, so I'll just erase this part here, and we'll have a look at B now, because I want you all to have a go at B, but I'll get it started. So 5,000 at 16%, so B is $5,000 at, actually it's 16.5%. So 16.5, let's say 16.5% for 3 years. So I, which equals PRN, will be, P is the principal, that's what you start with, $5,000, times by the interest rate, 16.5, so let's just say 16.5 over 100, times by 3. Now what I would do is work this out first. So work this amount out first, multiply it by 5,000, and then multiply that number that you get by 3. Alright, so have a go at that and see how you go. And then we go on to question 5. That was question 4. Question 5. Is John invests $7,500 at 3.45% for 5 years. So 5, I won't write all that out, I'll just write out 7,500 at 3.45% for 5 years. Find the simple interest. So A, let's use the formula. I equals PRN. Alright, now I'll underline the different parts. That's P. This is R for interest. And this is N. Alright, so I equals 7,500 times by 3.45, let's divide by 100, times by 5. Okay, so then we go 3.45 divided by 100 equals 0.0345 times by 7,500 times by 5 equals, so the interest is going to be $1,293.75. Alright, what is the total amount of money John will have at the end of 5 years? Okay, so I might leave B for you to do. He started with $7,500. Here's the interest that he earned after 5 years. So all you got to do is add the interest to the amount that he started with, and that will get you the answer to B.